Thank you, Chairman. We'll be talking today innovative hybrid steel precast concrete structure, which is smart green frame, will pursue economy of concrete and assembly time of steel. This is my concept today. Smart green frame was developed to achieve the same degree of economy from concrete structure and constructability from steel structure, with and without pre-stressed technologies. And these goals can be achieved based on the convergence of three fields, such as structural materials, and structural systems, and construction technologies. We have here convergence, consequence of these two convergence. We have structural hybrid, material hybrid, and construction hybrid. And this is what the smart frame is targeting for. The first one, material hybrid, is a consequence of convergence of structural materials and structural systems. And in that hybrid capability, the concrete, in that particular material hybrid, the precast concrete is encasing a web and the lower part of the flange of steel sections, so that slab will be installed not on the top of the upper flanges, but on the top of the precast edges. And that capabilities, we could have a reduced beam depths and also the additional contributions of concrete to the fractural load bearing capacity. And these are the fabricating plants that we fabricate and encasing the web and bottom flanges by precast concretes. And the slabs will be sitting and installed on the top of these edges right here. And these are the papers that I produced a few years ago about that. Now, second hybrid system is structural hybrid, where the steel, instead of a steel beam, we have a precast concrete beams, where the steel sections is inserted between upper and lower precast concretes. And that precast concrete constitute the major part of structural materials, while this steel structure is a minor part of structural materials. It's just about 20 to 25 kilogram force per square meters, and that's about 1/10 of reinforcing steel structural quantity. And those little sections are connected to the steels, which is located on both edges of the precast columns. And this will serve as a connections at joints and will govern the behavior of the total overall lateral behavior. And these are column beam unit again. And the standardized steel connections will be used to assemble precast concrete frames, just like Lego has its own routine way of putting blocks together. No matter it's complicated outside, doesn't really matter. We have one way of putting that, which is very easy. And the same thing right here. No matter how complicated outside of structures, we have one standardized steel connection method. So everybody can follow the procedures. And this is the schematic view. We have the advantages of steel structures and concrete will yield the smart green frames with the concrete, which constitute major construction materials, with the steel erections because of the standardized steel connections. And this is modular tables. We have five types of column, and we have three types of beams, and we have two types of joint conditions. We have four types of beam, still whether they are on both lengths or they are running through the entire span of the beams. So that we have almost 120 types of modular combinations is provided to meet the specific needs of engineers and contractors based on construction schedule, construction budgets, or external loadings, or whatever. But the best module, whatever they are, really can be determined from the consideration of design requirements, including building heights, beam span lengths, and building types, to offer the efficient construction method of innovations. And also the standardized steel connections is a good point. What kind of modular combination you choose, you have only one steel connections needed. And these analytical calculations based on the equilibrium equations, you calculate neutral axis. Also, you have a experimental investigation to validate the analytical calculations we've been carried out. And we have even carried out extensive research on experiments last few years. And these are the details of the frame, and I will really keep. This is long and tubular type. This tubular type, circular type, circular type, and this is a precast type. The column is all precast except these shear tabs to be connected to the beams coming in that joints. And we have a computer simulation of the buildings. We're going to really build this building this fall with these technologies that I introduced. And this is a 17-story building, and it is computer modeling. And we have these material properties to use and design the building. And this is the joints. See, all these member which constitute a major part of the structure is concrete, which is cheap, except the joints are steels, which is a minor part. Don't be that scared because of that amount of steel quantity is minor. So that you have the advantage of steel connections. Also, you have the advantage of economic cost from precast concrete structures. And this is our previous applications. This is a Kaesong, North Korea. We have built this building with this technology 7-8 years ago. And these are the view from Kaesong before the mountain Songhak-san, and even there to construct all these precast concrete structures. And there's another one here. Okay. Usually used to be 18-story building, became 19-story building. And these are underground parking structures. Ongoing. And another construction of 7 basement of frames used as permanent props. And this is another paper we produced at the time. And this is the view, what was going on there. In conclusion, and this is many advantages, as I explained, in terms of the economy and also constructability and assembly time. Also, it has the steel connection. Also it will remove dangerous works in space. So everything can be done on ground level, so that it'll really provide the workers with the safe environments. And also it could be done in cold weather, extremely cold weather, because we can steam cure to precast concrete structures. Thank you very much. Sorry about the confusion.